So we're back, and this is going to be a part 2 of the last repair video we did on a couple Pokemon games, and one of them we couldn't repair because the save IC was damaged. So we're back with Alvaro, and we have a Japanese version of the cart. Off camera, what I actually did is I dumped the save file just because I don't know what was on it, and then I deleted it just because I don't think it would cause any issues, but just in case it causes like a soft lock or something, I figured I'll just delete the save file off that chip, and then when we transfer it over, there'll be less chance of issues. But in case you do want that save file, I did back it up. I don't know what you would do with it, or if there's any way to get the Pokemon off of it or anything. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to heat it from the side, so you can kind of see I have it propped up. Can you see that? Oh. It's too much glare. But basically I have the game propped up on its side, so that way I'm not applying any heat to the actual chip itself. I'm just going to do it to the back. So I have these little magnets holding it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and heat the board from the back side. That way I won't possibly damage this chip or anything else. So let me turn my airspeed up. I'm at 370. Here we go. And let's look at the chip itself. Looks better than the other one, huh? And let's go over to the new one. And I'm going to go ahead and just tin those pads one more time with leaded solder, so the melting temperature will be less. Let's see, I had some solder. Here we go. That looks good. And then let me come out a little bit. And I'm going to make sure the dot lines up with the pin 1. And then I'll just come in from the top. I'm going to heat it up first. Okay, and I'm going to back off. I'll put this in place. Okay, it's got a grip on part of it. And now I'm just going to heat it until it sucks itself into place. Whoops. There we go. I'll let that cool. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more flux. And then I'm going to heat it one more time. Release. And then I'm finally just gonna make sure it's firmly on the board by pressing lightly. Then release. And that's it. I'm gonna let it cool for a minute or so, and then we'll clean it. And then I'm gonna add that flexible adhesive on the back, like I said before. So just looking at the back of the board, you see right there where there's that pad. Well, normally like you would have, there would be a solder pad here, and that's usually what holds that chip in place. So because there's no metal there, then there's no anchor, so it's just being anchored by these 4 tiny points. So what I'm gonna do, I have this flexible adhesive, this B7000. It's the same stuff I used to seal the action replay. I'm just gonna stick it in there. And then I will smooth that out in just a second. But I think that'll help to give it a little bit more strength. And let me just use this card. So it's clear. And then that'll just air dry. And then, which casing do you want this in? Which housing?
The black. I'm just gonna take the sticker off the black. I have no use for it.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to keep that sticker, go ahead and, heat that baby up and just peel it off, but
I'm not gonna.
I have no use for it.
Neither do I. Let me just make sure putting it in the right one. We could see which one of these back housings is in better condition. I'd give you the better condition one. This one's in good condition. Let me look at the front side. Actually, I don't even know if this one will fit. Do you want me to just peel the label off the Japanese housing?
Yeah. I'm not gonna the Japanese one I don't need. I'm planning on using that to reseal this white I purchased, which actually has a bent IR scanner on it, but it still seems functional completely.
Okay,
So
here I'm gonna send you this Pokemon White 2 back. I'll leave that one empty, and I'll put the White 2 that we just fixed in this Japanese cart, just because the actual cartridge itself seems like it's in a little better condition.
I feel like the is the white too really that bent? Like bad, like in
Well,
bad shape?
it's not bent. It's mainly just like the parts which hold it together, and then like the back, the plastic looks like it might be. It's kind of hard to tell on this camera, but it looks like it might be some sunlight damage or something like that. Where this
Fine.
one, this
You can go ahead and put it in the white too for now if you want. It's all up to you. It doesn't really matter in the end because it's the white's gonna get either one of those housings, and it's just which one gets the nicer housing. Which I guess you could put it on the white too. Or in the Japanese black. It's completely up to you.
okay. I'll just put it back in the original. I'll just put it
Yeah.
back in the original.
I know that some of those some of the housing has authenticity codes
Yeah.
plastered on the back, and if
Good
you
point.
if you switch them around, it might look a little odd, but it's not that big of a it's not that crazy,
That's a good point.
honestly.
Here, let's put the. I'll just gently put it back together, and we'll test it to see if it's booting now.
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should boot, but can it save is the question.
Yeah. Huh. Or if it gives me that error. Oh, where did I just put my
Mhm.
3DS? Here we go.
Also, I trust your sealing abilities very well.
That adhesive is awesome. Okay, let's see. And now it's not showing up.
Hopefully this works. Oh, it's not showing up?
Let me give the board a good cleaning on the pins real quick, because that'll do it. Especially if there's any flux there. Unless when I did the hot air, I undid some of the pins on like the ROM chip. Okay, let's try now.
Yeah, the sticker that's coming
There we
off
go.
it kind of can be annoying sometimes. Whenever you try and put it in, it'll create like some resistance.
Uh, oh,
Oh, there we
I
go.
think maybe it was slow because it was just creating the save file.
Probably. It's like a brand new boot essentially.
It's further than
Nice.
last time, huh?
And it's a brand new save, right? It's completely new.
Yeah. You want me to just get through and make sure it saves
Yeah, just
too?
yes, make sure it does a save. I think that's the safest, but I'm glad it's gotten to this point. That's good. This kind of proves our theory.
Yeah. Well, those severed legs were.
Yeah. I think that White 2 has probably taken a beating because as a kid, you run around with them. It's in your DS. That DS I have has a damaged hinge because I've dropped it a couple times, but you're running, you're dropping shit, you're just you're 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 always moving around and I feel like that you know, might wear and bend the board over time.
Yeah. Just the putting in and out, in and out. That'll just over a long time. It'll do that. That's like
Yeah.
that's been the case since original Game Boy games, though, right?
I'm
You're
hoping that those resoldered joints will be good at keeping it all together.
Yeah, I think it will. We can just go over it one more time just to make sure everything's super solid and
I think that's a running theme with these, right?
exactly. Yeah.
They're just cheaply, just a little, like very lightly soldered at the joints where they need more support.
Well, it's like they use some type of solder paste, and they use like a pick and place to put all the components down, which is like an automatic machine. So the components just placed right on top. So it's not getting the extra attention and detail that it would get, like if you're using a soldering iron. It's a long cutscene, dude.
Yep.
Skip.
This is Nintendo's last attempt at or not Nintendo, Pokemon's. I think it's Game Freak. Yeah, Game Freak's last attempt at bit like bit art games.
It's like
So
two
it's it
point.
it's it it tried. There's like an entire like analysis on it. Like this game's very pretty, I guess.
It's like the 2D, 3D.
Yeah, because this is right before it goes full 3D. When it goes full 3D is like when the Pokemon games start going downhill a little bit. And it's not because of the 3D itself, it's mostly just the quality of the games go down.
I wish I could skip this. Oh, there we go. I can't pause and save yet. Like in the original Game Boy games, right here, right when you get into
Yep, you can
moving around, you
save.
can save.
Yep.
Do you want to have a Pokemon? No.
What'd she say?
She's like, I'll ask you again. Do you want a Pokemon? No. What? That's a shock. I'll ask you again. Do you want a Pokemon? Yes. You want a Pokedex, right?
No.
You can't say she won't take no for an answer. Okay, can I open it now? Save. Yes. Saving, don't turn off the power. We saved.
Man, I am so happy. All right, let's see if it picks up the save file.
It's the name. Ah! It's just all A's.
Yeah, I really appreciate this. We're going to I'm gonna send you all the money for the Fire Red and everything else all together at once, and then my friend's just gonna pay me back
Okay.
for his parts. So just let me know the total with like the shipping and stuff.
Okay, I'll get the shipping
and
after.
yeah, just
Do you want me to
just
seal all this back together with the adhesive?
the white too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Very much, yes, please.
All right. It has continue and it does have the save file. Let's just make sure.
Awesome. So it's good.
Yeah, it's all working.
Nice.
Success.
All right. I'm very happy with that white too. I was so sad when it stopped working.
It wasn't booting at all, huh?
Nope, it wasn't even reading.
This is a double issue. Well, I'll go ahead and just seal it in. I think that adhesive and the save chip will. I'm hoping it'll help a little bit. Who knows in the long run.
Oh, what, the save chip?
Yeah.
I don't see why it would fail. As long as it's, put in, which you did. I don't see how it. Oh, that's what you're talking about? Yeah, I think that's.
If it flexes from.
Yeah. Oh, the board flexes?
Yeah. What I want to do is if I do scan this board and create it's called a Gerber file. It's like what you can use to manufacture new PCBs. Is I'll put that pad there.
Oh, that's the white 2 board you have right there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you can use the Japanese blackboard for the scanning purposes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So here's that adhesive. I'll just go around the corners.
But yeah, I don't see why it would why that wouldn't be a long-term fix. It's the component it's in. It's the same component.
I guess the question is if the flexing damages the component the same way.
Oh, you think the board itself is doing this?
Well, I think
Or not the board, the casing.
no,
Is
not
that your...
not the casing necessarily. Like just taking because the casing's plastic, it's bendable, right? It's a little bit rigid.
Yeah.
If when you bend it, you're barely bending it. But after thousands and thousands of times, it's the same thing why Game Boy games like they'll refuse to boot after a certain amount of time because hang on, I'm trying to line this up. They'll refuse to boot because one of the joints will fail, right? Oh.
Though they are pretty durable, from what I've noticed.
Oh, I think I just tried gluing it into the wrong one. Let me double check. Is this the one? Yeah, I'm dumb. I just tried gluing it into the wrong one. Hang on.
Oh, did you put it in flipped?
I put it in so like when I pried the cartridge apart for the other one, it's like the pattern of plastic that broke off was different. So the front half only matches up with one of the back halves. If that makes any sense.
I'm gonna be honest, not really, but that's mostly because I can't see it. I can't really see like the
I'll show you after I put this in. But what I was saying is every time you take the cartridge in and out, the whole thing is bending a little bit, even the PCB. I think the reason why the previous save file got damaged is from that slight bending over time. And it's the same reason, remember those couple of pins were loose? They wiggled, I was able to move them with that needle. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You were just able to push them.
Yes, that's the reason why. That slight flexing, it's normal, but over time with thinner solder joints, it'll break them. And it'll make them crack. It'll lose contact. Now with that save chip, I think that slight flexing over time, instead of just breaking the solder joint, because that center pad is not there, which would otherwise be used as an anchor point, because that pad is missing, instead all of the flexing pressure went to the little legs on the outside, causing it to just break off instead. So instead of the solder joint breaking, The
You
actual leg
you,
itself broke off. That
you
entire
ended up
side.
you ended up using that paste, right? On the
Um,
back? Was that what you
yeah,
used?
I used the same flexible adhesive. I put it in the back underneath the chip.
Would you recommend applying that to my that I apply that to my white that I have right now
I'm not
before it
sure.
gets new housing so it can.
I would recommend anything. I would even, if you're able to, I don't know if you have a soldering iron, but if you're able to just add, well, I guess extra solder there may not help. Yeah,
I do
any,
have solder, but I kind of like the idea of just using some paste to hold it in.
yeah, some type of adhesive behind it would be good. Nothing permanent. Something that's flexible. You might try this stuff. It's called B7000. You might try. I'm not sure what else you would use. This is the kind of stuff that's used to like hold phone screens in. So like you can remove it with heat, or even like a dab of hot glue. If you just kind of inject it right through the back, that would be fine too,
Hmm.
because you could remove that later on. That's not going to hurt anything. There we go. So I'm just trying to put that all together, and then I'll clean off the edges with some alcohol. This stuff seals up really nicely.
Seems like it, and doesn't affect the board at all too.
Exactly. There you go. It's meant for use with electronics. And then once I have these edges cleaned off, I'll put something heavy on
Yeah,
it.
that sticker's probably gonna get removed. At first I was thinking, oh, I can probably just push it down and it can look okay-ish, a little worn, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, you're probably gonna get removed.
You gotta go.
Oh my God, it's looking so nice on the edges. Hmm.
Let's see. I'll probably wait until the glue's fully set to clean it up again, but I'm gonna try to put it under something heavy. That'll be it. All right, I think that's it. It's let me just. Well, I'm not gonna test it with all the glue on it, but I'm sure it'll work. I haven't touched the board or anything, so that's awesome. And here's that old board. Yeah, so like this area right here where this little hole's cut out, there should be a pad there, like a big flat spot, but there isn't, cause Nintendo.
Do you think in a couple of years the modding community could probably come up with their own chips,
Um, I
ROM chips, and all these
I think
stuff
they do.
for
I
these
mean,
boards?
um, I'm sure there's a data sheet for this storage chip somewhere, and we already know the data that's on it. I'm just not sure what the layout of this PCB is. But I'm sure eventually people get around to it. I mean, it's the same reason why it's like we don't have glass lenses for DS consoles yet, but they're for every Game Boy we do. It's just because the nostalgia factor is not there yet for these
Yeah,
consoles.
I can see it coming back in like the next couple of years. Like all the Gen 5 kids are like getting to the age and I see it all over YouTube. Like they come in force and they have like videos dedicated to Gen 5 where they just like praise things about it and just
Yep.
and it's not like a small amount of people. It's like a large, like several thousands.
Yeah. Keep all of your Nintendo DS consoles that you have, because
Oh, I
they're
have so many of them. I have so many like I have like a red broken one which I'm currently working on. I just need to replace the top screen on it. And like, connect everything up.
those
It
will.
looks a little bit more complicated. It's okay, it's a lot more complicated than the Game Boy, but
Yeah.
um
The
I think
hinge is
I'll
awful.
get around to it. But I have a ton of those and they are very cheap right now. Like if you want to like I'll let you in on a secret place. It's not really a big secret, but a lot of people don't know about it and it's a lot better than eBay sometimes.
Here, let me pause this so no one knows the secret. So that's it for this repair. The Pokemon White 2 is going to get sent back to Alvaro, and it's all in working condition. I've got this PCB now. It's going to be a little pet project of mine, and among 1,000 others, where I'm going to remove all these components and try to do a board scan. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and until then, have a good one.